Hello, this is Mr. Painter with another fabulous Quizzette tutorial. Today we're doing 844, but we're doing the Tuesday section. All right, let's go ahead and get started. If you didn't put your name on your paper from yesterday, do check because a no name on the paper will result in no credit. All right, looks like you're ready to go and your name's on your paper. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, first step, what we're going to do is we're going to take y equals negative 1 over 4x and add 2. So what we're going to do is copy that down. Y equals negative 1 over 4x plus 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our 0 and we're going to plug it into our x value. So notice the cursor is right in front, but that is a 0 after all. We got y equals negative 1 over 4 multiply 0 plus 2. Next step, we're going to multiply before addition. So notice here that anything multiplied times 0, whether it's a fraction or whole number, or even a negative fraction, it doesn't matter because it's going to end up to be 0. So y equals 0, then we're going to add 2. And last but not least, y equals 0 plus 2 is equal to 2. And that's our y value there. All right, we're going to do the same concept, but we're going to plug in negative 4. So I got y equals negative 1 over 4 x plus 2. So next, I got y equals negative 1 over 4 multiply negative 4 here plus 2. All right, next step. We got y equals, now notice we have a negative 1 over 4 here times a negative 4. What makes this easier is to take that negative 4 and put it over 1. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my negative 1 from the numerator here and the negative 4 from the numerator on the second fraction, and that is a negative 4. The beautiful negative 4, by the way. Ignore that little line back there. And that's going to give us negative 1 times negative 4 is going to be a positive 4 over 4 times 1. So 4 multiply 1 is 4. Subtract 2. And I'm going to say plus 2 because we got a plus here. So still plus 2. All right, next we got y equals 4 divided 4. What is 4 divided 4? Oh, 4 divided 4 is 1 plus 2. And y equals 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. All right, now using this function tables, let's go ahead and take a look at our ordered pairs we created because we're going to need to graph them on our next step. Our ordered pairs for the x value is going to be 0 from this table here. And from here, the x value is negative 4. These were already given to you, so those are what I call freebies. We're going to go ahead and add the commas. We got a comma there, add the comma there. Now, because y is equal to 2, so we're going to put a 2 in the y value spot there. And for here, we got y equals 3, so therefore the y value here will be 3. All right, now what I can do is I can take these 2 points and go ahead and graph them. So starting with 0, comma, negative 2, 0 means don't go left or right, but 2 means we're going to count up directly by 2 from the origin or the center of the Cartesian plane. So in this case, up 1, up 2, and 0, 2 is that point right there. Next, negative 4 means we're going to count left first We're going to count left negative 4. Then we're going to count up 3. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, negative 4. And up 3. 1, 2, 3 lands right here. And look for a pattern from the lower point. Looks like we go up 1 and to the left 4. So I can repeat that pattern going down 1 and right 4. And that gives me a really nice indication of where to go ahead and graph my line. There we go. All right. Let's talk about the next step. What is the y-intercept for the equation y equals negative 1 over 4x plus 2? Well, the y-intercept is the last value that does not have an x, which is positive 2. Now, the positive 2 is the point where it touches the y-axis. So that part's really nice right there. All right, next up we have the slope of negative 1 over 4. So the slope is the negative 1 over 4. Now the rise is the number that we go up. So let's say from this point here, from the y-intercept, we're going to go up 1. Then the run, because it is a negative value for number 6 here, the negative value would be negative 4. So from the rise of 1, the blue line, so now we're going to go left 1, left 2, left 3, left 4. And now the slope gave you the second point there. So the run is negative 4. The rise, we just counted up 1. And as mentioned earlier, the y-intercept is 2 there. All right, my favorite, number 7, we got to solve for x. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do some distributive property. Now take a look at this negative that's in front of the parentheses. Believe it or not, that is a negative 1 times 1 plus 7x. So that's actually my first step. Whenever you have a negative by itself, it's negative 1. So you got to put the 1 in there. Minus 6 times negative 7 multiply negative x within the parentheses, right? Equals 36. All right, next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my first value. I got negative 1 times a positive 1, which is negative 1. Keep going until the parentheses have closed, which means they close right here. Negative 1 times a positive 7 is negative 7x. Negative 6 times negative 7 is plus 42. And negative 6 times negative x is plus 6x equals 36. We still haven't touched the 36. We've been leaving it alone. It works fine the way it is, so there's no reason to mess with it. All right, let's start with our x values first. So notice here we have a negative 7x, and I also have a positive 6x here. So we're going to do something called combine like terms. So if you lose 7 x's, you find 6 of them, bad news is you still lost 1 x. So negative 7 plus 6, negative 1. Don't forget the x. Now, what about the values that don't have an x? In this case, we have a positive 1 that had no x, and we also had a positive 42 that had no x. So what we're going to do is we're going to take positive 42 and subtract 1. So positive 42 subtract 1 is going to take us to positive 41 equals 36. All right, next step, let's see, we have positive 41 and 36. We're trying to get x by itself. So let's go ahead and subtract 41 from both sides. So here we go. We're going to subtract 41 both sides. So minus 41 minus 41. The purpose of us subtracting 41 from both sides is we're trying to get x by itself. So here we got negative 1x, didn't do anything with that, equals 36 subtract 41. Ooh, 30 works. That's going to take us to, looks like 5. But because we have a positive and a negative, and the negative is larger, so this is going to be a negative 5. Last step, we're trying to get x by itself, so I need to divide by negative 1 both sides. Divide by negative 1. Negatives cancel out. 1's cancel out. X equals, negatives cancel out. 5 divide 1 is going to be positive 5. So therefore, my final answer here is going to be C for kitty cat. All right, this concludes your Quizzette for the Tuesday section for 844. Have a fantastic day.